Thingol is a really, really interesting case to me because I think that if the Silmarillion had actually been published, I don't think that Thingol's character arc would have shaken out the way that it did. Like, he's definitely one of the signs that the Silmarillion was still a work in progress at the time of Tolkien's death, you know? And because of that, I find it harder to kind of muster up the amount of hatred for Elu Thingol that I would for someone like Celeborn, for someone like, Ael the Dark Elf. Fuck that guy, by the way. But anyway, Elwë Singolo is on his way to Valinor to lead his people to the promised land and all of that. He gets sidetracked because he runs across Melian, a Maya, in the forest, I believe, of Doriath, but I haven't cracked open the Silmarillion in a while. And when he sees her, it's very much reminiscent of the way that Beren will come across his daughter in the future, and he's very just like transfixed by her. It is love at first sight. And they stare at each other for like, I think 500 years. They just stare at each other. They're that into each other that quickly. And this is actually the first interracial relationship. And it kind of sets the pattern for the interracial relationships going forward, which is, Beren and Luthien, Tor and Idril, Aragorn and Arwen, like continuing down that path. And in order for it to work in Tolkien's framework, these interracial relationships, the man has to be down bad immediately, and the woman has to be like in a higher, like, I don't want to say higher because elves and men and like Maya is a little bit different, but like I don't want to say that elves are somehow like higher than humans, like that feels shitty, but the woman has to be like more immortal than the man. Like, she has to be possessed of some kind of incredible power that the man does not have access to. That feels like a fair assessment of the pattern of interracial relationships in the Tolkien Legendarium. Like, in this case, Elwë Singolo is an elf, but Melian is a Maya. Like, she literally has so much light of Eru Ilúvatar in her face that Elwë Singolo is not a dark elf like his brethren. He bypasses that entirely because his wife is she's literally a lantern of the Lord. She has Jesus in her skin. I definitely don't begrudge anyone their hatred of Elu Thingol, though, because Elu Thingol earns it. He definitely doesn't empathize with Beren coming across his daughter, Luthien Tinuviel, in the forest the same way that Elwë Singolo himself came across his own wife, Luthien's mother. And he could have let that shit happen. He didn't have to be happy about it, especially because Beren was a human, and if Luthien had committed herself to him, like, it would have separated him from his daughter entirely, because for all of the importance of Elu Thingol and Melian's union, at the end of the day, their souls are more or less heading to the same place. The fate of elves and humans is so sundered that I think that the men, like the race of men, I think they like stop off at Mandos and then they go somewhere else and no one knows where they go. And that's a hard thing for when you're a father and you're about to lose your daughter, not just to marriage, but to the sundering of the afterlives. I think this is also what makes Elrond so important, because I think that Elrond handles his daughter's interracial relationship and sundering from her in the afterlife. I think he handles that a lot better than Elu Thingol does, and I think Aragorn and Arwen is not just like a reprise of the Lay of Lúthien, of Beren and Luthien. I think that it is kind of how like the fathers should have handled it, how the daughters should have handled it. They should, like, Beren and Luthien, they were pioneers in the realm of interracial love in the Tolkien Legendarium. Aragorn and Arwen had history to guide them, and they knew what they were doing, and I think that Aragorn and Arwen have a lot less drama because of it. But anyway, back to Elu Thingol. He does this thing where, like, he meets with Beren, and he's just like, if you want to marry my daughter, you need to go and get a Silmaril for me. And that is the single decision that ruins everything. It kills his grandson, kills his great-grandkids, ruins his country, kills him. Like it's a problem. Like he fucked up. The reason why he fucked up is because Doriath alone, to my recollection, is the only place in Beleriand that is not touched by the drama of the Silmarils. Like, if he had essentially just left Beren and Luthien alone, if he had been more open-minded to it, he would not have ruined everything for himself. The Lay of Luthien happens. He gets the Silmaril. He puts it in this necklace. I think it's called the Noglamir. I could be wrong, though. And the Silmaril, like, it corrupts him pretty quickly. Like, the Sons of Feanor, like, they've been around this shit. Like, they were alive when their dad made them, like, that kind of thing. Elufingol is new to this shit. And the Silmarils are kind of like, what if the ring had the, like, addictive quality of, like, 8 rings, and there were no hobbits to carry them, and everyone is essentially corrupted by these things, not necessarily because the Silmarils are bad the way the one ring is evil. Like, the Silmarils weren't evil in that way. They were just, like, phenomenal cosmic power in an itty-bitty living space. And you have to wonder what the alternate history of Beleriand of Middle-earth would be like. What would have happened if Doriath had continued to be an important figure, an important land in the Tolkien legendary? I'm like, how would Doriath have helped with the War of the Ring, for example? Would we have needed a last alliance of elves and men? Would it have been easier to take down Sauron and to throw the ring in the Mount Doom before it needed to get passed down to Bilbo, to Frodo, and corrupt their spirits and all of that? We'll never know, because Elufingol was short-sighted, and he was good, and I think he was still a good king. Like, he wasn't like a bad guy. It was just one of those things where it was just like, one decision can ruin your life.